In 3, 2, 1. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Charity Mukupakosi, the one and only C, your soon to be favorite C. This is Charity Begins. If you are coming back for the third time, for the second time, my day one, I hope you're good, I hope you're doing great. And yes, I'm back with another video. I didn't upload anything last week, and I have a very good valid reason as to why I didn't upload anything. I recently lost my grandmother. May her precious soul rest in peace. So I have not been myself this last couple of days, and I'm just trying to get back to myself. I'm trying to just get used to the fact that she's no more anymore, and yeah, it's just part of life, guys. So I am back, and as you can tell by the title of the video, I am going to be doing a 22 things I've learned at 22. By the way, I'm 23 this year, and I am super excited. It's my Jordan year, so yeah, I really hope it's gonna be a fruitful chapter, and I'm ready for it. So let's just get right on to today's video. First things first, guys, if there's one thing I've learned, is to never take men seriously. If you want to die a slow, painful death, or take a gent seriously. Never do that to yourself. Never. Because on a serious note, guys, the reason why sometimes we are so depressed as women, the reason why we lose weight, the reason why we have so much anxiety, we are overthinkers, is because of what men put us through. So just do yourself a favor and never take men seriously. I don't take men seriously. And I'm not saying I disrespect my boyfriend or whatsoever, but I've just learned to know that men don't really pay attention as we think they do. So the best you can do is to just chill, relax, and just try and be calm. Like, never be ready to do confrontations and ask him why and stuff like that. Always learn to be calm and just learn to know that if it works out, it will work out for a good cause. And if it doesn't work out, then it definitely didn't work out for a good cause. So let's not force relationships, and let's not force men into loving us and stuff like that. One thing also that I've learned at 22 is to try and put myself first as much as I can, because I'm one person who really cares about people around me and people in my life. And if I am your friend, you'll know I'll always be there for you 110% whenever you meet me and stuff like that. But sometimes I got to realize the fact that I tend to neglect myself while doing that, because I really pay much attention to what's happening in other people's lives, and I'm trying so hard to be the fixer in other people's lives and stuff like that, and yet I am neglecting my mental health and my emotions and myself, you know. So I've learned to listen to myself a lot more. I've learned to put myself first, and I've learned to give myself time and detach myself from things that I feel like would take time away from me. And if there's one thing that I've also learned, is putting yourself first. You disappoint yourself less, and you're well aware of what's happening in your life, and you're well aware of the kind of phase you are in going through in your life. So it's very important that as a person you put yourself first, and you just forget about other people for a minute. If there's one hard pill I had to swallow, is the fact that losing people is part of life. That's one thing that I've learned. As much as we are all aware of the fact that death is part of life and it's among us, and you know that as a human being you might be dead at some point, or somebody you know in your life might be dead at some point. It's also quite strange how we as human beings are failing to accept death, and I honestly feel like we'll never accept death. We will never come to terms with the fact that people die and it's normal. So it's one thing that I've learned to know, that losing people is actually part of life, and while at it, you have to be more kinder to people. You have to spread love, and you have to be there for people. You have to ask for forgiveness whenever you can, and you have to fix relationships or friendships that you feel like there is a chance, because you just never really know how much time you are left with, or how much time the person is left with. My grandmother really made it real to me to know that I can be with someone on Monday and on Wednesday they are normal, and it's normal, it's life. And so you just gotta make sure that you live your life to the fullest, and you leave a mark on this earth, and you have impact on people's lives, and you are a good person. So yeah. And I have gotten to realize the fact that God is real, God does exist, and God is listening. I do have a very personal journey with God, and yeah, sometimes it's very difficult to kneel down and pray and ask God for things and stuff like that. But guess what? God silently works in your life, and he pulls through for you, and he shows you that even if you don't pray to me, even if you don't call upon my name, I am here, I am God, I'm your father, and I'll definitely show up for you. I've had instances in my life where I wasn't really a strong believer, and I had a very rough, rocky relationship with God, and I couldn't pray and stuff like that. But I still found myself out of situations where I didn't think that at some point I would be past those situations. And I've been through the worst in life, but I'm here, I'm alive. And yeah, I've learned to know that God can silently work in your life, and I've learned to trust his process. And I might be having my own plans and stuff like that, but God has other bigger plans for me, and I'm gladly open to him working into my life and doing whatever he does with my life, even if I've always wanted something and I believe this is for me, and God decides no, this is for you and this is not for you and stuff like that. So that is how you know that God is in your life, and God is mysteriously working in your life, and God is silently working in your life. So you just gotta trust his slow hand. That's one thing I've also learned, that you have to trust his slow hand. He is there, he's listening, and sometimes he might take a little bit longer to answer, but at the end of the day, he will. Also, some people do not deserve second chances, and some people never ever change. That's one thing I know, and that's one thing I've gotten to realize while doing this life thing, that sometimes you can allow a person into your life and just don't have people's judgments about them cloud you and what you see in them. That's me. I'm one person who's very patient when it comes to people, and I would allow myself to see something greater in someone than what other people think about that person. So I've used to have a friend where I had to give her so many chances to prove herself, and I've always felt like, okay, fine, she's human, she made mistakes and stuff like that, so I don't have to be harsh on her. I am not perfect also and stuff like that. But guess what? They never ever changed. They never changed. So hey, but and you can't do anything about it, and it's not your battle. So yeah, it's just not your battle to fight. You can't do anything about it. You're not Dr. Phil, you're not Oprah Winfrey. So allow them to be who they are and just close the chapter. That is just one thing I know, that some people do not deserve second chances, and it's who they are. It's in their DNA to betray people. It's in their DNA to lie. It's in their DNA to backstab and all that. They're just malicious people like that, and it's beyond your control. So yeah, some people can just change, and they just don't deserve second chances. It's life. Another thing also, I've learned to know that no is an answer. There's yes and there's no. So I used to have a hard time saying no to people and saying no to favors and stuff like that. But I've learned to realize the fact that nowadays, so you can't just always be this person who's always ready to jump and to help someone out, and to be like, if you just don't want to do anything, say no. Clearly say no. You might be disappointing that person, but you are being honest to yourself. You don't want to do it. You don't feel like doing it. So just say no. No is an answer. And I'm honestly always ready to say it. I'm honestly always ready to say no, because I'm just always tired of availing myself to things that I know that I don't deserve, and I don't need to be there, and it's not my... One thing that I've also gotten to learn is the fact that happiness is a choice. You'll find me happy 90% of the time, because I just don't like being sad. I don't like drowning in my sorrows. I don't like crying, and I don't like being depressed. I learned to know that life is very short and I have to make the best out of it, and living with problems and issues and challenges and stuff like that is part of life. So you just gotta choose to be happy and move on with your life and just take every day as it comes. People always think that people who are happy don't really go through problems and stuff like that. It's a choice they made, that I'm not going to allow that darker side of my life overpower me being happy. So I've chosen to be happy, and I'll always remain happy and grateful of every single thing that I'm going to go through in my life. So happiness is definitely a choice. So yeah. Talking about happiness, I've also realized the fact that I can never make everyone around me happy, and I'll always learn to be grateful of those who show appreciation and those who really do appreciate the fact that I'm in their lives and I do have an impact in their lives, because they're just people who always believe you're always giving out the bare minimum and you're not doing enough and stuff like that. So I can never really make everyone in my life happy, but I'll rather be grateful of those who do show appreciation of me being part of their lives and giving out what I give as a person or as a friend, or yeah, as a family member. One other thing also that I have learned to cherish is to be kind to myself and to be very gentle towards myself and to be very confident about myself, because nowadays people are very negative and people enjoy seeing someone down and sad, and people would speak ill about you and be very negative about you. So I've learned to protect myself in spaces like that, and I've learned to know that I am enough, and I don't need any validation from anyone, and I'll always be gentle towards myself, and I'll never deem myself as a disappointment at any point in my life. And I've also learned to forgive myself and to know that I do deserve second chances as a person, and I'll do give myself a second chance whenever I failed. And guys, I don't even know how many things I've talked about right now, but maybe 10 or 11. I'm not really sure how many things I've talked about. So I'm just going to talk, and if I don't reach 22 or if I do exceed 22, my bad. One other thing also, into my next point, it's very important to be in a relationship with someone who aligns to your dreams and your aspirations and your standards and your principles in life. That's one thing that I've learned. You can never be young to choose the right and the perfect partner for yourself, because guys, being in a relationship can change your whole life, either in a good way or in a bad way, because you can meet someone who's very outgoing and who's very confident, who is a hard worker, and they end up instilling that in you, or you can meet someone who's going to abuse, or you can end up being unfortunate and having to meet someone who's an abuser, or who's going to make you feel like you're not worth anything, and who's going to put your life plans on hold. Because there are some relationships that you tend to find out that the 5 years that you have invested into that relationship, you didn't actually do anything in your life and you didn't achieve anything in your life. So it's very important to take time when it comes to choosing your life partner, and it's never too early to choose the right partner. And it's actually best you learn to choose people who are way much more responsible and who align to your principles and standards as early as 21, 22, 23. So always take your time when it comes to relationships and the kind of person that you're going to invite into your life and share your life with. I think I've talked about 12, if not 11 things right now, and I would like to stop right here because my battery is dying. Be back again with the second part of 22 things that I've learned at 22, and I don't want this video to be very long, so I just decided while shooting that I'll do the first part and the second part. So I do hope that you enjoy this one. I'll be back again with another video and the second part. So do make sure that you subscribe and you comment, you like, you share, and yeah, I'll be back with another part very soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching.